Hey, what's up, guys? Ian here. Gonna do another weekly vault. Another week of playing with the new talents. Did some changes on some characters and some experimenting. Some was good, some was not good. I'll kind of, I guess, explain what I did on each character as we get to them. So, combat rogue, or fuck, stuck in Wrath of the Lich King. Outlaw rogue. Very fun, very good, but I almost feel like you have too many combo points, if that makes sense. This causes the spec to seem very, oh god damn it. Alright, I guess I'm getting coins. Okay, I could get some sockets. You have super high combo point generation, so it almost feels extremely spammy. I don't know if you guys know, like, Tettles and Dratnos, they're famous WoW content creators, and they say, like, you need to snort Adderall before you play combat, or you need to be like a zoomer, because your millennial brain can't keep up with the actions per minute on a combat rogue. And honestly, they're not that far off, because actually, let me just double check real quick before I forget it. Yeah, I could use both those sockets. Okay. And they're really not far off, because you just have so much generation. You're like literally, there's times where I'm like capped on combo points, which is bizarre. So, and you have so many cooldowns now. Blade Fury, Adrenaline Rush, your current Covenant, that'll go away. Dread Blades, Roll the Bones. Eventually, when we get more talent points, and some specs use it now, some builds use it now, but I had to get rid of it because it was literally just too much. The Resounding Strike, or the Echoing Reprimand, or whatever the fuck you call it, was just, it was just too much. Way too many things. And because, you know, Outlaw, every finishing move reduces the cooldown, so it was like, you have all those things, and they're constantly refreshing, and you're constantly using them again and again and again and again. It's, I mean, it's fun, and you do a lot of damage, and there's lots of stuff that lights up, and lots of procs, and you're pressing a lot of stuff, but after, you know, one or two dungeons, you're kind of just like, I need to take a break and go meditate and let my brain calm down. Excuse me, sorry about that. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty fun. I haven't really experimented with the other specs. I did a little bit of assassination, but not really enough to comment on it. Prot Warrior still seems a lot of fun. Seems like a lot of fun. You're pretty strong. You got good cooldowns. You're tanky. I think Prot's in a really good spot. We'll see if it survives any tuning or nerfs and stuff like that. Oh, nice. This is really good. This is going to be a really good off piece. Gaze. Unity. I don't want to have to recraft stuff this close to the new expansion, so I'm probably just going to catalyze. Although that would be basically Biss off piece. But yeah, Prot's super fun. You have lots of cooldowns. You're super tanky. You have a lot of, you have built-in, what am I trying to show you here? Built-in leech. I have 10% leech just from my talents. The 1.4 is from my gear, so 10% leech just from your talents. So you have a lot of self-healing. Sorry, it's getting a little cold in my neck of the woods, so first stuffy nose of the season. You get Rend, which is spread with Thunderclap. So lots of damage, good threat, because everything now has a bleed on it on top of your Thunderclaps. And yeah, just lots of good cooldowns, lots of good rage generation. So I think it's in a really good spot. Pro Warrior is a lot of fun, and it's strong. So fingers crossed they stay in a good spot. Kind of, I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but I kind of played around with the talents and I couldn't really find a way to fix it. But losing your forset on a paladin, you just generate so much less holy power. So it's a lot harder to proc your legendary, which is like the, after every shield you do like the AoE little AoE flame with your, every Avenger shield procs a Shield of the Righteous that creates like AoE holy damage flame thing. But that's a lot harder to do when you can't just spam Shield of the Righteous because you have 1,000,000 holy power. So that's a little annoying. Also because of that, you have less uptime because you're not spamming it as much. So you're a little squishier. I'll probably take that. Yeah, I'll probably take that. Let me just double check my socket sitch. Oh yeah, I'm Gucci on sockets. Yeah, I'll take that. Maybe just equip it for the item level. I thought these bracers that I have, you know, the special effect would like come in handy, but you like, with the current dungeon rotation, you just never get disarmed. So it's cool in theory, it just literally never happens. I have not had it happen once in the last 2 seasons. So I mean, a cool idea, but hard to say how good it is if it literally never happens. Yeah, like I said, I tried to find ways to generate more holy power. I couldn't really get anything that was worthwhile, so I don't really know. I mean, it's still strong, you still have self-healing. I mean, being able to range AoE silence is invaluable. You still have your pony and all that stuff, so I mean, you still have all the utility as a prop pally, but you just don't have the damage because you're not proccing your legendary, but your legendary will go away soon, so I guess it's not the end of the world. And you're still fairly tanky for not generating so much holy power, so I guess it's just comparatively prop pally is not quite as fun or quite as overpowered as it was, you know, 3 weeks ago before the patch, but still in a decent spot. Sorry, I'm just like really thirsty tonight, I guess, but Resto Druid, I say it every week, tons of fun. Also have lots and lots of abilities. You have lots of tools for all sorts of situations. You feel strong, you are strong. Good damage if you're trying to weave some damage into your healing. Oh, wow. Wow. I might take that. Let me check my... yeah, I think I will take that. When legendaries turn off, I can just put on a higher item level piece for my for my questing. But yeah, Druid's lots of fun. Like I said last week, you have tons of abilities to choose from. So many great talents. You can go kind of more boomkin damage off spec, more feral damage off spec, a little bit of bear in there. So tons of options. Very good. A+. A+, recommend. Shadow Priest, I changed my talents up a little bit. Last week I mentioned my damage sucked ass and I wasn't sure if I was doing something wrong. 90% sure I was, but I still changed my talents anyway. I also just now realized, again, I don't know if it was a talent change. I didn't really spend a whole lot of effort on this guy, to be honest, but I did notice that Shadow Crash now applies the dots. So, I mentioned last week, like, they got rid of your, when you like, I'm sorry, I don't know the name of this ability. When you Mind Sear, you can do that thing, and it like put dots on everybody around it while you were Mind Searing. But now you just Shadow Crash, so yeah. There's still a way to AoE dots, so I was wrong last week, and I was missing a crucial part of my kit. But, oh, god damn, man. I guess my characters are just too dang geared. Shit. Do I need any sockets? Yeah. I could use a socket or two. Or three. Oh, those are my first coins. Okay. But yeah, so I did better this week. And you know, kind of following the theme of everyone else, you have a lot of abilities, lots of choices, lots of buttons to press, and their rotation honestly does feel fairly fluid now. Now that I know how it works with Shadow Crash and stuff, so. But it still feels a little weak. I don't know if it's my gear or, I mean, I'm only 285. Most people are like 300 nowadays on their characters they play. So I don't know if it's a combination of just my low-ish item level versus not knowing how to play properly, but with my talent changes there was some slight improvement, and it's still fun. Like I said, I still enjoy Shadow Priest. I enjoy the class design and the lore and the idea of it, and the kind of like some dots, but also some kind of like a hybrid between a warlock and a mage. It's not all dots, it's not all casting, it's kind of a little bit of both. You got some off heals here and there and stuff like that, so I still like Shadow Priest, but I digress. Monk, tons of fun. Played around with the talents a little bit. Ooh. Hell yeah. Crit haste and it comes with a socket. Changed my talents up a little bit. There are lots of options as well. Kind of, if you want to go a little more damagey monk versus a little more like straight healer. Also, if you want to get kind of in this end, the what are these called, capstone area, you kind of go this like Feline Stomp build-ish, or you can kind of go in this like Secret Infusion build, and then over here is like the Bone Dust Brew, so you got a little bit of options there. On the monk side, it's honestly not too interesting. It's more utility and stuff with like defensives and extra charges or roll, or your whatever, your Touch of Death does a little bit more damage and all that stuff. So not super interesting on the monk tree, but the Mistweaver tree does have lots of options for different play styles. Definitely gonna, if you main a monk, you're definitely gonna want to have different talent build for raid and M+, because there are just so many options that are kind of geared towards one versus the other. But yeah, having a lot of fun with monk. Lots and lots of fun with monk. Now on to my horde characters. Also having fun with most of these characters. Warlock I'm having tons of fun with as Affliction. I changed my talents a little bit as Affliction. I still haven't tried. Maybe this week and the next week, the last 2 weeks before Evokers, I will try. Last 2 weeks before Evokers or last week before Evokers? Let me check. Oh shit, I only have one week. Okay. But that doesn't, well, that's just one class. That doesn't really change much when that comes out. Okay, so yeah, maybe this week, into next week, into the following third week, I'll probably play around with other specs now that I've kind of done my talents for my main specs and fooled around and picked something that works well. But Affliction is a lot of fun. I can't comment on Destro or Demo yet. Again, maybe that'll come this week or next week. Didn't I get these last week? Oh, it has the same exact picture. Ooh, it has haste instead of mastery. I don't know if that's worth it. Yeah, I'd rather get double sockets. So yeah, we'll pick up the sockets on him. But yeah, Affliction's a lot of fun. I did have to change my build a little bit to fit kind of my playstyle and kind of... I had some ideas of what might have been good, and it was just kind of shitty. For whatever reason, the Haunt build, at least in my experience, kind of sucked ass. So I went back to the Dark Glaive build, and that was working much, much better. Also, this little thing, I thought it would be cool to like have a little eyeball follow you around and shoot damage, but it turns out that sucks ass. It did, I think it was like 0.4% of my overall damage, so it's like, whoa, why does it even exist? Maybe it'll scale better in Dragonflight or something, I don't know. Or maybe it'll scale better with who knows what, but it sucked. It was terrible. Don't take that talent. That eyeball is fucking dog shit. But yeah, otherwise, lots of fun with Affliction. You can actually do quite a bit of damage. You can do tons and tons of damage as Affliction. It's surprising. Demon Hunter tank, always a lot of fun. I've seen Demon Hunter damage. The Havocs in my groups have been unbelievably strong. But I've seen some posts and some forums and stuff and some guides about it, and that's going to change in Dragonflight because a lot of the Havoc power is from legendaries and conduits and stuff, and that's all going to go away. But currently, until then, Havoc Demon Hunter is insanely strong. Like, probably twice as strong as it was 3 weeks ago. Oh, fuck, I have this. Ooh, but it has avoidance. Oh, shit. Yo, that's big. Almost 5% avoidance on a tank? That's huge. That's huge. Also 940 on use versus, what do I have? 880. It's actually the smallest of upgrades, but it's basically just I'd just be adding avoidance, which is nice. But yeah, lots of fun here. I didn't have to change my talents too much. I mean, everything's honestly pretty good for Vengeance. I mean, tons of options again, tons of strength. You can kind of go a little more sigils, a little more this kind of new frailty mechanic. You can kind of go into this Fell Devastation. If you just go straight down the middle, a bunch of Fell Devastation stuff. And there's this whole mechanic now also of like, one of these talents. One of these talents here says like you heal for however much fire damage you do. So you can go like this super crazy, like you just kind of are tanky through doing damage, if that makes sense. You can kind of augment it a little more with the Demon Hunter side. You can also go more into the sigils. And then a little more like burning mastery kind of stuff, magic damage stuff. So lots of cool options with Demon Hunter. I think they're very strong and fun. And they're still hypermobile. Like I said last week, you get your normal jumps. You can get, if you want it, Vengeful Retreat. You get the Hunt, which is a 50-yard range. So you just have all sorts of jumps and dashes and gap closers and all sorts of stuff, fun stuff. So you feel like you're kind of zipping around all over the place, which is just enjoyable from a player perspective, from a fun perspective. Now, I don't know what to say about DK, because I changed my talent around multiple times and I can just not get it to work. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong, or if I just have the wrong gear, or I'm just playing in the wrong mindset, the wrong, who knows what. Maybe I'll try Frost this week, or maybe I'll do a little more Blood. Maybe Blood will be more fun, but Unholy, I could just not get it to work. On bosses, I could crush. I could do like 21k on a boss. But Trash, I was doing like 9k. And it's like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? I'm throwing up my diseases. I'm summoning all my ghouls. I'm using my conduit or my covenant while I still have it. I'm using my freaking gavel. And I could just not do trash damage. I don't know what was going on. But again, on bosses, it worked. But for whatever reason, on trash, I could just not get any damage to come out. So that was a little frustrating, a little disheartening. Again, maybe I'll try Frost, and maybe I'll be a little more successful, or maybe I'll just go Blood and not have to worry about damage. But yeah, I mean, you get some decent talents to choose from, but honestly, you don't get, compared to other classes, you don't really get that much new stuff. That you don't really get that much fun stuff. I don't know. Like, some of the stuff is from legendaries and covenants, but it's honestly not anything super exciting or super fun. I mean, outside of A-Bomb's Limb, but you can still just take A-Bomb's Limb because covenants still exist. So who knows what the problem is. I know this town I just hovered over is super good, but it's a 1.5 minute. So that would only be good for like every other, or even at this pace, with how geared everyone is, only every third trash pack. So that wouldn't really fix my issues. I forgot to do Shaman last week, and because of that, I didn't have a key this week. And then when I went to get it, it was like a 14 or a 13. So gonna be honest, I just said fuck it, and I didn't do my Shaman again this week. So maybe next week I'll get back on the Shaman train, but kind of like the DK train, it was just not that fun. You got good talents, but nothing really that exciting, nothing really that strong. I don't know, it's kind of sad. He was my main in Shadowlands for the first 2 patches, and I just burnt out pretty hard. This never really happened before. I mean, I guess my mage has always been my main, but I raided on him for the first 2 patches. Survival Hunter. Similar issue to the DK. Although a little bit different. Like sometimes I would just like pop off. And I would be, you know, doing just as much damage as I did in the past. I would be doing huge survival, wildfire bomb pulls, doing crazy damage. But it was only like 2 or 3 times a dungeon, whereas 3 weeks ago it was quite literally every single trash pack I would pop off. So I don't know if they changed something or if I'm doing something again. Maybe I'm playing it wrong. I don't want to say that like all these classes are stupid and Blizzard fucked them, and it's most likely my fault. But the talents here just aren't that cool. They just aren't that cool. I played around with them a little bit. They're just you know, you have like this one side which is kind of a little more like the strikes, and then this side which is a little more like the bombs, and then the hunter stuff is honestly just like utility, like movement speed and defensives, and it's just kind of boring. I don't know. And then maybe it was losing the 4-piece, you know, the 80% buff to yeah, the 50% buff and all that stuff. So I don't know, maybe it was losing the 4-piece and that's just kind of what I'm noticing, or maybe I'm doing something wrong, but not quite as crazy as I used to be. Wait, did I get the other trinket on this guy? I got the other trinket last week on somebody. Who did I get it on? Because I think if you have them both, right? That's an unuse. I thought if you have them both, it does like something special. Let me look and see if my add-on shows. Sorry, one second. Ooh, Dragonfly Dungeons are in the adventure guide. Cool. Oh, my add-on doesn't show. Who has this? Somebody got this last week. One of my characters got this. Who was it? Explodes. Tony. Am I having a stroke? What's going on? Yeah, see, there it is. The second sentence. If Flame Gale strikes a target affected by a Thunder Ritual, Flame Gale's damage is increased by 30%, and its radius by 50%. But if they're both on uses, that means fucking god cock. Fucking cunt. Oh no, this is just okay. This is just a random proc. Okay, so you can use them both on the same character. Okay, maybe I'll get that just in case. And it is a bunch of haste. I don't think I need sockets. The trinkets are really good. I don't know if I'd ever use this, but since it is part of a very rare 2-set, I think I will take it just in case. Just in case I get to play around with the cool little flavor effect. I know I got that on somebody. I'll have to check my characters and see when my add-on's not picking it up. Now for the mage. Now do I get the final tier piece of 304 that I've been searching for, what, 8 weeks? 9 weeks? Is this the week? The penultimate vault week Blizzard announced, by the way. This upcoming vault will be the last Shadowlands vault, apparently. And then I guess in the downtime, 2 or 3 week downtime between, I guess the vault just won't fucking have anything. I don't know. Seems weird that they would not wait till Dragonflight release, but maybe I read that post wrong. I don't know. Do your own research. Shoulders. Fuck. I think I need a chest. Yeah, I need a chest, not shoulders. Man. Coin it is. Is he the guy who had the trinket? No. Who had the trinket? Let me just log on my alliance one more time real quick. Maybe the add-on only does perfection. I mean, this is only my horde characters. Or something I know a lot of people have. This is only my horde characters. It'd be really cool if I just like went through my add-on options right while I was recording and you guys just had to sit through it. Wouldn't that be cool? But yeah, I didn't get any cool mounts last week. I don't know if I even got any achievements, really. No, Shadowlands Hero, we mentioned that last week. No achievements. I got with some mogs. I think I mentioned that last week, that I was trying to spend my anima. A lot of my characters, I spent some anima. So, my anima stores are going down a little bit. Getting a lot more of the just transmogs, the little collectibles, little battle pets or whatever and stuff like that. Trying to just finish out Shadowlands. Shadowlands festivities, so I can spend less time having to come back or less time needing to come back. I'm doing this avowed rep. I'm very close now. This might be a better way to see it. 13,000 out of 21. This is a very slow grind. This is one of the slowest grinds of Shadowlands for sure. This fucking sucks. And I'm only going to get one mount out of it. Just a fucking gargan. All this grinding for a gargan. But gotta do what you gotta do. So that kind of sucks. But otherwise, nothing real exciting. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Honestly, some decent loot this week. A little bit on the coin side, but it was at least at the point where the coins could buy sockets. We saw one more vault. And then, yeah. I'll play around with the talents some more, play around with the specs some more. Kind of give my opinions next time I see you all. And until then, I guess try to wrap up any loose ends before Evokers next week. So, thank you so much. I appreciate your support and your watching and your views. And I appreciate your ear holes and your eye holes. And until next time, thanks guys.